What's happening, everyone? Ed over here at the Stojo Zone podcast with
Denise, his lovely wife. You forgot that.
I did forget that.
You should have said it.
All right,
for me.
Denise, my lovely wife. We are here with the long anticipated episode 4.
4. Long and anticipated. 4.
Episode 4.
Not 14. 4.
Episode 4. Bears, Brandon, and Bulls. Oh my. So, had a long hiatus, but we're back. I'm glad to be back. We are in the middle of a little remodel that we have going on. And a little bit. And we were in the middle of setting up the new podcast studio, and it's not ready yet. It will be, and when it's set up, I think we're gonna end up doing a video, probably converting this to a podcast, but also a video podcast.
Oh, God, that's going to be scary. This is scary enough.
It's going to be awesome.
Imagine that.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be kick-ass.
I better lose weight.
Did you just call me fat?
I said I better lose weight.
But if you got to lose weight, what does that mean for me?
TV puts on 5 pounds.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Can you do me a favor and record me in a GoPro with a slim setting, please?
We'll ask Patty.
Patty can do it. If anybody can do it, Patty can do it. Hey, shout out to Patty Souls, Fox Photography. What up?
Soulsy.
Yep. So here we are with episode 4. So a lot's been going on over the past 20 years since we recorded episode 3. Like I said, we did the remodel. The damn Rona caught us back in March.
Yeah, it was terrible. Don't want to do that again.
No, yeah, it sucked. It kicked me right in the junk. Kicked Ariana in the junk. Kicked you in the junk. And kicked
multiple times.
Kicked Cameron right in the junk.
Yep.
So now that we're kind of past this and it's in our system and we got the antibodies and everything else, hopefully we can
we feel a little bit more, I guess protected, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we're venturing out.
Doing a little bit more. I would say going to 9 concerts in 3 weeks is more than a little bit. So we hit up some concerts this past summer. We got a chance to see Rise Against. And for all those who don't know Rise Against, they're awesome. They're from Chicago. They're a great band. We actually went to go see them in 2019. I'll share a little story with you, with everybody. I'll share.
The stories aren't little. It's going to be long.
So we went in 2019 to go see Rise Against, and it was playing with one of my favorite bands, the Deftones. Rise Against, still one of my favorite bands. So I'm just like, oh my God, I can't miss this. So we see the Deftones, and they killed it. This was at the Huntington Bank Pavilion.
Now I know where you're going.
Okay. So we go there. It was an amazing time. Denise had a blast. I had a blast. I mean, it was awesome. We had $17 beers, which was awesome.
Yeah, and that's probably why I had a blast.
Yep. So then she's like, "I'm cold," and I'm like, "All right."
And I was drunk.
Yeah. So I'm like, "All right, let's go get a sweater." So we go, and the Deftones don't have any sweaters, and there's a Rise Against sweater. She's like, "Oh, I love it. Let's get it." $85 later, I buy her the sweater. And we get a refill, and we go back up, and we're pretty close to the stage. Rise Against takes off. I'm grooving. It's great. It's tons of energy. We're 2 minutes into the song. I gotta pee. These guys suck. And I'm looking at her, and I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. Not only are we this close watching this band, but I just spent $85 on a sweater for a band you think that sucks, So anyway, long story short.
This is why he doesn't buy me beers at concerts anymore.
There we go. No, what was the name of that?
Death Water or something.
Death Water was Liquid Death.
Liquid Death.
I'm like, what the hell's that? They're like, it's water.
It looks like you're drinking a beer.
It does.
Pretty cool.
Absolutely. I felt
it was
like
good water,
I felt like I was a poser because it looked like I was drinking a big can of Miller Lite,
Yeah.
So anyway, we ended up leaving that night, and we ended up going to Pizzeria Uno, and we just people watched, and it was fantastic. So fast forward 2 years later, here we are in 21, and my lovely wife is like, these guys are great. Oh my God, this is so much fun. And I look at her. Anybody ever see the white guy blinking meme? Like the little, I'm looking at her like, you got to be kidding me. So we hit that one. We ended up going to, what other one? So we went to go see that one, Tremonti and Seven Dust, which was awesome. That was at the Forge.
Yep.
Shout out to Frank. Frank booked some amazing bands there. It's a great spot in Joliet. Then
Great spot for the college kids.
it is a great spot. There you go. And then we ended up going to see Lamb of God and Megadeth at the Tweeter Center, World Music Theater, Hollywood. Who's paying me the most money to name this place this year? Theater. So we ended up going there, and it was great. Lamb of God put on an amazing show. It was fantastic. Megadeth. Dave Mustaine is definitely looking his age, but I was glad that I got a chance to see him, especially after his cancer battle. I'm glad that he's at least back out playing, because the guy is he's amazing. So we did that.
Guns N' Roses.
Oh my gosh.
I couldn't understand a word they were saying.
So let's just say, I don't know who's worse, Axl Rose or Vince from Motley Crue. I
would say Axl Rose. I had a better time at Motley Crue.
but Vince is still pretty bad.
Yeah, he is.
So Axl was terrible. The best part about the show was Slash just absolutely tearing it up. He did. I could watch. Well,
supposedly Axl was sick, and that's probably why he changed his outfit every single set. Every single song, he was back there changing his outfit.
He had a different black shirt on.
Instead of a 2-hour thing, it ended up being 5 hours for him changing out of his tight pants.
Yeah, it was. Let's just say it was a little bit crazy, but we had such a good time. Proof in the pudding is that it doesn't matter where you go, what you see, how bad the band is. It's all that matters is who you're with. And we had some good times with some friends and this and that, so that was a good time. So we did that. We went to go see Knotfest, which is with Slipknot was the headliners, and that was the first time I ever saw them play.
I've seen them, but at a distance. This time it was up close and personal.
Yeah, shout out to Live Nation.
Oh my God, that was crazy.
It was amazing. So
a little scary.
we were first row right before the pit, and it was just intense. It was absolutely great. They put on a great show. And then Killswitch Engage were the openers. So that was a great show as well. They played a lot of good songs. Jesse was great. I'm still Team Howard when it comes to Killswitch, but Jesse still did a great job. So then we did that. What else did we go see? I feel like
I'm going to see New Kids on the Block with all my friends. Yep.
Okay.
I think we are. I think.
You know what? I don't care.
For all the girls asking, I'm pretty sure we are going. Eddie said we are.
So I'm telling you right now, whenever I hear somebody say New Kids on the Block, I'm thinking something like,
no, that's not what you hear.
That's me. That's my...
I'll FaceTime you when we're at the concert having a blast.
Yeah, so I have no desire to ever see that band. However, who's the one that's married to Jenny McCarthy?
Donnie, or the Wahlberg. Donnie Wahlberg.
So you like the Wahlberg guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I like Jenny McCarthy.
He touched my hand one time. I had Eddie smell my hand when I got home. I still haven't washed it.
It smelled like a fungus. So, I like Jenny McCarthy. You like the Wahlberg. So,
yeah.
If Wahlberg touches your hand, I'll allow Jenny McCarthy to touch.
You got to get us a meet and greet.
Meet and greet.
Yeah.
Okay. On to the next subject.
Those girls would love me.
On to the next subject. I can't believe we just wasted 35 seconds talking about New Kids on the Block. Anyway, so now we have Disturbed coming up on November 3rd. That's going to be at the
new casino.
The Hard Rock.
Hard Rock.
Yep, Hard Rock Casino. So that's going to be pretty fun. I really like Dan, the guitar player. I just don't. I hate the singer. Hate's a strong word. I hate the singer. Not a big fan of him.
Dislike.
Yeah, strongly dislike. I'll put it to you that way.
Just
Strongly
say dislike.
I met him one time at the House of Blues when I was a little kid, and by little kid, probably 18. And the guy was he was a complete and utter jerk. However, on the flip side, I've seen the guitar player numerous times, and we actually saw him. You didn't even know who the hell it was.
No, you said hi to him, and I was like, who is that?
He comes walking by. I was like, oh. I was like, it's Dan from Disturbed, because he lives out in Illinois. I was like, Dan, how's it going? And he's like, hey, just super nice. And nobody knew the hell who he was. Yeah. He's just a dude who walks in.
I wouldn't be able to tell any famous person unless I really knew him.
I'd be able to know who the Wahlbergs are.
I definitely would.
But it was really cool seeing him, and he's a great guitar player, and he's one of the nicest guys. So for that, tickets were probably a little more than what I wanted to spend, but the fact that this is how I justified it. You want to hear how I justified it?
No, not really.
Okay, I'm going to tell you how I justified it. So I justified it because it's at the Hard Rock Casino in Gary, and when we go to a show out in Illinois, you've got the drive there, you've got the tolls, you've got the food, you've got the parking and everything else. And here it's just in Gary. It's like, what, half hour away? Yeah. So for me, it made sense.
For me, the gambling makes sense.
I haven't been to the Hard Rock, so that's something that we're going to be pretty excited to go see.
Here we come, slot machines. Here we come.
She's going to win at the slot machines, and I'm going to lose it all on blackjack. I've got terrible luck.
Yes, he does. He absolutely does.
I can have 21 and I'll still hit. So we ended up getting tickets for that. Then we landed tickets for this will be for next year. I've never seen the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Me neither.
And that's a band.
I don't think I have.
You probably haven't. No. Have I? No. If you haven't, I don't think you have either. So we're going to go see the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and that's going to be super fun. And I think the Strokes are opening for them. Then we got some games coming up.
Oh, lots of games.
We got a couple Notre Dame games we're going to here within the next couple weeks. Mm-hmm. And then we've got Purdue versus Northwestern at Wrigley Field. And
that's going to be fun.
Oh, I cannot wait for that. Tremonti is coming back to town with Seven Dust in Joliet in December, and we're going to go to that show. I think he's opening up for Daughtry.
Oh, yeah, you did say that.
Yeah, the dude from...
You said we're going to go to that, right?
Yeah, the dude from American Idol, which is... I didn't know he was still a thing. I thought
I don't even know who that guy is. I probably do, but
I don't even know if he won American Idol. Like, I remember hearing like a song, and then all of a sudden I'm like, Seven Dust and Toronto... What? The American Idol guy? I had no idea. So, anyway, we're going to go see that in Joliet, and that's going to be in December. And so then we also have tickets to go see the Bulls versus the Lakers. That fizzling hot mess.
Wait, I'm not going to that, am I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm taking Cam to that.
I thought it was just you and Cam.
No, you too.
Yay.
Never mind, I'm selling your ticket. So it's just, correction, just Cam and I are going to that. And so we're going to go see that. We're going to that game specifically, A, to support the Bulls, but B, we've never seen LeBron play. And we've seen Russ Westbrook play. We've seen Durant play, so we've seen some of the greats. We've seen Giannis Antetokounmpo. Well, I just like saying his last name.
You had really close seats for that game, though, right? The Milwaukee, you had like front row or something.
They're like front row.
$5.
I was gonna buy it, and your brother was like, I was like, Matt, they're like $15 a ticket. I'm just gonna go ahead and buy them. He's like, no, just wait. I'm like, Matt, they're $15 a ticket. They're like, it's like courtside. He's like, no, I'm telling you, just wait. Then like 2 hours before the game, I'm like, Matt, they're like $10 a ticket. I know, just wait. I'm like, Matt, you $10 a ticket, and this is how close we are. I ended up getting all 3 tickets, and I want to say I spent $26.
That's crazy. And you guys were close because we saw you on TV. You were actually playing basketball with them.
I was telling Jason Kidd the plays. I'm like, no, dude, cut, pick and roll. You
guys actually got on the court halftime with Vanilla Ice.
Yeah,
I saw you.
You're stupid.
I saw you in your baggy pants.
We ended up going to a
Dancing.
show. We ended up going to a show before, and it was a show. We ended up going to a Bucks game before. Well, at that point in time, they were terrible, so you could have called it a show. And it was 90s Night featuring Vanilla Ice.
Ice,
Yeah.
baby.
The best part about it wasn't even that. He's saying, "Go Ninja, go!" I'm like, "Oh my god, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles!" I thought I was Michelangelo again. So it was great. We did that, but anyway, those tickets were dirt cheap. The Bulls Lakers aren't going to be as cheap. Well, they weren't as cheap, but we're going to get a chance to see LeBron play, so that'll be cool with that. I'm pretty excited. So, the Bears. Okay, we are
Who?
we are recording this on October 24th, 2021, around 8 p.m., and we just witnessed what I personally think is one of the most disgraceful displays of a football game that I've ever seen. If by the time this so we're going to release this Monday, Tuesday-ish. If Matt Nagy still has a job, I want to rescind my Chicago Bears. I'm putting my fan status on the trading block in the NFL. So I need to see what teams are going to be willing to give me what for this. I'm going to have them talk to my agent to this so I can root for whatever team is going to, whatever
You
my
have an agent. Where? What? Where have
I
you
could
been?
think, figuratively speaking, if I had an agent. So I couldn't believe. Okay, so let's get into it. The Bears' offense is terrible. It's awful. We spent all this money on a defense a few years back that was good, but never was fantastic, except that very first year we got Khalil Mack. Then we've had a absolute worthless offense. Nagy is probably one of the worst coaches I've ever seen in my entire life. And that's pretty bad because I've seen some pretty bad coaches. Justin Fields had a horrendous game, but I don't want to put any. He didn't have a good game, but I don't want to put blame on him because he is a rookie and he got thrown into this dumpster fire called the Chicago Bears organization, and it's awful. So basically, looking at his stats, he went 22 for 32 with 184 yards, no touchdowns, and 3 picks. That
I'm already bored.
I was bored watching it.
We turned it.
I was just I couldn't believe it. He's having a
It's hard to watch. It's very hard to watch.
very hard to watch. So
It's hard to talk about too.
what I think. Do you want to hear what I think?
No.
I'm going to tell you what I think. So what I think is they need to fire everyone. I actually updated that on my Facebook.
I saw that.
Yep. There's a girl online, Angela Fieldhouse. She's a realtor, and she put on there in the Bears font and logo, "Fire everyone." And I'm like, I need that shirt. I need that flag.
We need a doormat.
I need a doormat that says. I was like, oh my goodness, I resonate with that photo big time, because I think really everybody has to go, including the Bears, and I'm looking forward to them going to that Arlington race course. Hopefully that happens. Because
I think we're going to the Super Bowl. That's what I think. I think we have an amazing team.
I don't know if I asked you what you thought.
Even if you didn't, I would still give it.
Yep. So anyway, it would be. I know the Arlington thing is something that's probably not going to happen for quite some time. It's probably going to end up being, at least a 10-year thing because they got to build it, they got to do all this stuff. But I'm hoping that the McCaskey family will sell that organization to somebody or a family that actually
Cares.
that actually gives a shit about winning in Chicago. it's one of those. I mean, look at the Bulls. They got rid of Garpax and all this other stuff, and look at them now. They're actually great. They're actually starting to. Again, we haven't really played anybody, but still, they're still looking pretty good. I just think that Bears organization needs a complete overhaul. Rebuild. Get rid of some of these players. I feel terrible for Khalil Mack because he's hands down one of the better defensive players in the NFL, or has been, and he came to the Bears and it's, injury or, when the defense is on the field 80% of the time, it sucks, and I feel bad for Justin Fields, as I did with Trubisky, even though Trubisky really pissed me off. It's unfair for these guys to come in here and it's awful. It's absolutely awful. What they're asked to do with nothing is just, it's tough. I think it's tough for a veteran, let alone a rookie. So anyway, with that being said,
move forward.
The damn Chicago Bulls. How about them? How about them Bulls?
They look good.
How about them Bulls?
I didn't even know the Ball brother was on the Bulls until like yesterday or the day before. I was like, he's on the Bulls?
So for those fans of the Stojo Zone that don't watch sports, that's where you're probably going to connect with Denise a lot more. She's like, playoffs? Playoffs?
I'm just trying to win a game.
So, Lonzo and DeRozan, Levine. I mean, Levine is still hands down
He can shoot. He shoots from way back.
I think he's a good shooter. I think he's a good player. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I still think he's probably one of the most underrated NBA players in the league right now. The dude gets no respect. You get all the Hardens and the Kyries and, the Westbrooks and, the Currys. I mean, Levine is right up there. I don't care what anybody says. I think he can compete with those guys. He's good. He's young. He can shoot. He's aggressive. The guy can jump out of the building, so it's one of those things where he's a primetime player. And if we can keep them going, this will be a good thing. Please, we got an Amazon package being delivered, so please ignore the Alexa.
And the dogs
barking, so they're gonna go crazy.
Because Hogan wanted to join the podcast.
He did. He wanted to join. So it's gonna be one heck of a season. I think we're gonna be a contender. Not just playoffs, but I think we can have a deep run in the playoffs. The White Sox this year, they fell short. I think they're gonna have to make some changes. I'm not a Sox fan, but I still think they're gonna have to make some changes. And the Cubs. Oh, my goodness. I think they've made some changes already. So, Chicago sports, I don't follow the Blackhawks, but I did. Steve Peters, we
want to go to some of those games.
I do. I want to catch a Blackhawks game. I've never been. But Steve had mentioned on how the Hawks kind of, I think they're in the same position. I don't want to say same position as the Bears, but probably in a little bit of a tough position, and I think they're going to have a hard time winning. So, for any Blackhawks people, fill me in, leave us a comment or something like that, and let us know what your thoughts are on how the team can get better, and because that is an area I'm not familiar with. So, anyway, Chicago sports. I think one of the funniest things I've seen was it was a Thanos meme from Marvel. And it was like, what did you have to give up for the Bulls? You remember when they have to throw them off the cliff and then they get the stone? They're like, what did you have to give up? And it was like the Cubs, because they traded everyone. And now the Bulls are good. So it's like, I feel like no Chicago teams can all.
But there was that one meme, though, where all the players were doing good. And then the one that got traded to, he threw like, what, I don't remember what it was. You showed me it. It was hilarious. Where he threw something.
Yeah. But it's just one of those things. I wish Chicago sports, we're too big of a city, too big of a fan base to not have consistently good sports teams. There's a lot of money in Chicago. You know it when you go to the stadiums. You know it when you pay that price for the beer, for the hot dog, and for anything else. Everything is you know that when you pay for the parking.
For the veggie dog, too.
That's a good segue. So, Denise and I have been eating a little bit better since about July, and we've given up red meat. Mm-hmm. We're eating a Mediterranean diet, and I haven't had booze since July 1st.
Me neither.
Don't tell anyone.
No one should know.
Okay, I forgot this was live. So anyway, so yeah, we haven't had booze since July 1st, and anyway, it's. I thought it was going to be a little bit difficult. First off, we're not heavy drinkers, but when we go out and hang out with our friends, we like to have a drink here, a drink there, this and that. And that has been the one weird thing, is going out to places and not having a drink.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's I'm not saying that it's not like, oh my God, I miss it, this and that. It is just definitely weird.
It's fun watching people when you're sober and everybody's like
and
drunk.
And I'm like, shit, do I act like that when I'm drinking? Do I talk 3 inches away from people's face,
My question is who's going to want to be with us when we do start to drink again? The first day is going to be, we're going to drink 1 beer.
So I'll tell you what, whoever wants to hang out with us the first time that we drink, we can videotape and we can put it on the podcast. How's that? So.
Oh, man, that's going to be funny.
Yeah, actually, our first beer. Okay, I'm saying it now. You want to hear what I got to say?
No.
I'm going to tell you what I got to say. So we can have our first drink. You're hearing it now, ladies and gentlemen. Worldwide. Our first drink will be on one of the episodes of the podcast.
Oh, Jesus.
We'll surprise you. We'll let you know. But that'll be our first drink.
Patty's going to say, is it a flaming pineapple? Or no, smoking pineapple?
Flaming pineapple.
Flaming pineapple.
That sounds like a bar I don't want to go to.
A smoking pineapple. Yeah. It's got to be with Patty, though.
Yeah, so the smoking pineapple.
So Patricia, get over here.
I'll tell you what the smoking pineapple is. The smoking pineapple is how do you take the insides out of the pineapple?
He takes the core out of the pineapple.
Yeah, take the core out of the pineapple. I add some rum.
Lots of rum.
So spiced rum, Malibu. I put a little bit of that coconut cream or whatever. I shake it all up. I end up putting a little bit of the grenadine, but then how I do it is I shake that up in a separate shaker, and then in the coconut, I put at the bottom, because you got to put at the bottom, dry ice, and then you load it up with ice, and then you pour the drink in there. The reason that you load it up with the dry ice at the bottom and not the ice on top is it keeps the dry ice going, and it keeps it going for a little bit. And here's something too, because it bubbles, it will actually turn a drink that is not carbonated.
Really?
Yeah.
It doesn't taste carbonated when I drink it. I don't like carbonated waters like Trulia's and stuff like that. So
yeah, because all the bubbles and stuff like that, it makes it fizzy. I feel like.
Well,
I'm not a scientist. I'm not.
Patty slept on our porch after she drank that. So
she had like 3 or 4 of them. So anyway, if you need a bartender, by the way, this is my little shameless plug. I'm not licensed, but I will bartend your party. Now, I can't guarantee that people won't pass out, but I will bartend your party. And hey, you don't have to worry about a bartender that drinks. So on to the next thing. This whole Let's Go Brandon thing. So
so funny.
Yeah, it is pretty funny because again, full disclosure, I'm not a NASCAR guy, but it is the Brandon Brown, I guess, post-race interview. The crowd was not saying, let's go Brandon. Let's just make that very clear.
What were they saying?
Funny you should ask.
Oh my God, it's just such an unbelievable moment.
Brandon, you also told me, as you can hear the chants from the crowd, let's go Brandon. Brandon, you told me you were going to kind of hang back those first 2 stages and just watch and learn. What did you learn that helped you you there in those closing laps?
Oh my God, it was
It's getting louder and louder.
It's
We should do that at Cam School. During a football
it's
game.
blatantly not "Let's Go Brandon." It's hashtag FJB. So this is like taking the media by storm. Like
It
actually,
is.
like social media and all the social medias out there. It's taken all that by storm. I think it's hilarious. I actually ordered us sweaters that say
know,
"Let's
I
Go
can't
Brandon." So it's great. It's
I can't
fantastic. And what can happen though is people ask about it. Our neighbor's Brandon. He's he's on a vegan journey, and I'm cheering him.
I'm
on.
cheering for him too.
Brandon,
That's
shout
what
out.
we're doing.
The Lincoln Family Vivo
Yes.
YouTube. You got to subscribe to it.
Yeah.
Brandon, my boy, I'm giving you a shout out. So, so that's kind of taken the whole the internets nowadays. It's taken it by storm. And there is a rapper that came out with a song called "Let's Go Brandon." Would you like to hear it?
No.
I'll let you hear it. Hold on one second.
Let's go, Brandon.
You know what they saying, ho?
Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon.
I know you can't see this.
Let's go.
I'm getting my groove on though right now.
He is.
So you got to just imagine me
Let's go, Brandon.
He's doing the Shaquille O'Neal dance.
bumping and grinding with
Hey, you know what they saying, ho?
getting that shoulder action into it.
You know what they saying, ho? Hey, you know what they... Yeah. You know what they... Yeah.
I can't wait to drink to this song.
And I say it with a passion as I pull off in the Aston. Don't nobody like his ass, huh? Tried to cover up and tell the people, go, Brandon.
Do you know who's my favorite rapper nowadays?
Who?
Loza Alexander. Sorry, I had to look it up.
I don't even know. That's the guy right there.
That's the guy.
Is that his one hit single?
Hey, it's so funny. I thought it was funny because it soared like the week it came out. It like soared to #1 on the Apple Music charts, and I'm just like, if that doesn't tell you what the country thinks about this guy, I don't know what will. So,
Right.
but I mean, come on, it has to. I mean, you got the inflation going up. You've got you got all those ships that are stuck at sea, and then you have Fauci telling us that
Fauci. Oh
we
my God.
we may be able to get together with family this year. Dude, no. How about no?
How about we did that before? That's not happening.
Yeah, it's not
again.
happening again. So,
Although Ariana did say, if we can go on a lockdown again, and I would like that.
okay, this girl is on lockdown even when there isn't a lockdown. And she doesn't like people.
She likes people. She just doesn't like.
Entertaining people.
Yeah. If she's ready to go,
Yeah.
she's ready to go.
Yeah. I know on lockdown, I know there was people that thrived and people that hated it. I hated it.
I hated it. Cam hated it.
Yep. I am very much an extrovert. So
Ariana was shining.
she loved it. Absolutely loved it. I'm the type of person that if you go to a party with, I will do probably 90% of the talking and, hey, how are you?
Yes, he will.
The handshakes and everything.
When he drinks, he talks. Me? How am I when I'm drinking? I'm a blast.
Do you want to know what I think about you when you're drinking?
No, but you're going to tell me anyways.
All right, I'm going to tell you anyway.
Let's not.
It's not fun. We'll just put it to you that way.
It's fun.
She has 2 drinks, and I feel like I'm an 18-year-old kid taking care of another 18-year-old kid who can't.
So we're 18 again.
We are. It's kind of
That's
time warping.
awesome.
It's like a time warp, you know?
You mean when Eddie gets drunk, he dances by himself in the garage to
Tupac, Biggie.
Biggie, and then
I
he
was.
comes in and riles the dogs up.
You want to know what, though? At least when I do it, I dance to good music instead of the New Kids on the Block crap that you...
I dance to good music.
Okay, so she listens to New Kids on the Block, and the last time we went out, I
and
came back.
Stevie B.
Oh my God, that's what she listens to.
Yes.
I listen to this. I'm grooving right now, by the way.
He can't drink with Donnie anymore.
My Detroit players, Tim's for my hooligans.
Had a lot of tequila.
That's hey, you did.
Papa been smooth since days of under rules. Never lose.
Come on. You got, I mean, that just, I'm listening to it in my head right now without it even playing. I'm getting those little shakes going in.
You were getting them.
All right, for sure. So, that is this episode of the podcast. Bears, Brandon, and Bulls. Oh my.
We forgot another B word. Oh, can't say that.
Bears, Brandon, Bulls.
I'm just kidding.
I'm confused. Are you sure you gave up drinking? So yeah, that's this episode of the podcast. Please feel free to, you can follow us on all different podcasts. Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcast, Google Podcast.
That's so terrifying.
Everywhere. You can even find us on YouTube.
So weird that when we go out and we run into like friends and they're like, when's the next episode? When's the next episode? I'm like, episode of what?
Because it's been so long since we recorded one. I feel like the old lady from Titanic. It's been 98 years.
Yeah.
So now we recorded it. We are back in action.
Somewhat. Hopefully our basement gets done so we can be in action fully.
Yes. So we are going to make a commitment. You want to know what my commitment is?
Not really.
All right, I'm going to tell you what my commitment is. My commitment is that we are going to do one podcast a week.
A week?
A week. And
I have
then
to hang out with you one day a week?
I'll do a podcast with Hogan.
Have at it.
He's
There
just
he
hanging
is.
out.
He's chilling.
And we'll do a podcast a week on current events and anything else that we want to talk about. We're going to talk about the travel one. So we got some traveling coming up.
I hope so.
And we're going to talk about that one. So for Ed and Denise of the Stojo Zone,
We out.
we out.
We out.
We out, homies.
Peace.
And yeah, hope you enjoy. Later. That's hitting the wrong button. That's why you know we're rusty.